Morning YouTube. It's a beautiful winter's morning here in Scotland and that's the sun coming up. So you know it's not early. If it's winter and the sun's coming up, then it's like, and it's 10 o'clock. So let's go and do this job. I'll show you what it is. Here's a quick drawing on the computer. I'll maybe explode that up when I edit it. And here's a sort of blown up, exploded sketch. Here is sort of like how I draw. Sometimes I'll do a perspective drawing just for me. It shows you the grain, how the grain's orientated on the drawing. And here's a list of me working out my material that I'm going to need. But also, like in most jobs that I'll do a one-to-one scale size. Here's the door. I've not drawn in the panel. Ignore all that. And here's this rail behind this door, and this one behind here, and here's the two shelves. Now it's very important that I get these sizes right because the customer is actually buying baskets that fit into these. And could you imagine if I made this thing and then the baskets that she bought, it didn't fit in, then they have every right to say take it away. It's no use. So, but here I have two of these to make, and they're like desks. Here's the knee hole where you sit in, and I would say that they're study desks. It's for the customer's children. There's two of them. There's a left hand and a right hand. So I've lifted all my material in so far. There's going to be a lot of oak veneer, and I'm going to do the fronts in solid oak, and I've also got two lengths in the back of the van of oak worktop, solid oak worktop. So I'll set the camera up, we'll do a wee time lapse, we'll listen to some music, and we'll bash on with this job. Starting to put carcasses together, and on the front of this I've got an oak lip, and that sits on the ground obviously because it's the right way up, and that's what I've drawn. Here is the oak bit at the bottom, and because this is going to be seen all faces, I don't like putting screws through into there, but I will put a support back in. Some people like to put on a rebate and house it in so that it houses into the rebate. That's all very well, but you still need to fix it. So I can stand on it and it will never give way because it's glued and screwed into there. In Scotland we don't say you know what I mean, we say div you ken what I mean. So I'll put my camera up, I'll do a time lapse, I'll get this thing together. Also I forgot to mention that this is biscuited on. It's biscuited on with a biscuiter. You know, some of these biscuit machines, I've got a few of them, and like some of them cost like 250, 300 quid. This cheapie, which was 40 quid, is the best one out of the lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah.
what I've done is that both of the carcasses up on my bench now, and I've got this bit fixed here, bracketed on the back. I've also got the little brackets there, rather here, and you'll see that these brackets have got like a wee groove in it, and that allows for the, because it's a solid oak worktop, allows for the expansion of the worktop, even though if it moves it won't split. Now I'm putting in this shelf supports, which are right in the middle, so that the equal distance is there, like what I said to you about the woman who has bought baskets that fit into these. So I made up a wee jig. I always do make up a wee jig for this, and that's the bottom, and that's like the distance from the front. I don't like to put these things too far back, not too far forward but not too far back, so that if you put weight on the front of the shelf it tips up. The same at the back, I like to have the back ones a bit more forward than this distance, in case somebody pulls it, you've got that a wee bit before it collapses at the back. Drill like this one, I've not done this one yet. And also these things, I'll show you the shelf supports here that are, and I buy them by the thousands, and if you look at the two of them together like this, I have to make sure that whatever board that they're going into, that they're not going to touch in the middle. Now this is a 20mm thick, so that's fine. If it had been 18mm thick, this would have hanged out slightly because they would have been touching each other. Also, this is what I use, this wee block that's on my, get some light, drill bit. And of course that's already set to the depth of the thickness of my template piece, so that, you know, it just stops there and it doesn't go all the way through my oak panel. And I make up, almost every time I do shelving, I'll make up one of these for a specific setting. So often you'll find them, they're all over my workshop. Here's one, that might work for a couple of units, here's another one. So now, what I've got left to do is make the doors. I've got one door and then the two open cubicles as the customer requires. One's a left hand, one's a right hand. This is the panel, this is the door, don't fall apart door. So I've got to get the panel into there. Of course, the thickness of this veneer, oak veneer panel is way too thick for the groove that's been made. So I run it through the cutters just to reduce it. Here's Johnny! So I reduce it to that so that it fits in there. Of course, you do that when you're assembling it. So I'll run a wee template first, and then I'll set it up to see if it will fit. And that's it there. So that's the right size. I make sure it's the right size, because I'll tell you something, there's nothing more annoying than to be gluing everything up only to find that your panel is like 1mm too big and it stops the joints from closing. So that's a pain in the neck, because then you've got to strip everything down, and then you've got to re-cut it smaller, then you've got to re-run the edge again. So sample everything, test everything. Right, I'll crack on. You should be watching, actually. I'm not sure why you're watching me when you should be working on your job. Get back to work. Right, let me show you something here with this door. This is the back of the door. So this is a water-based glue, this stuff, PVA, and you can get a reaction with the water-based glue on the steel, and if the steel is touching the oak, and if any of that rust comes off of there and goes on to your oak, I tell you something, there's almost like a chemical reaction with the rust. It sinks right into the oak. No chance. You would be left with almost like a rusty line. It's happened to me before when I was doing a bull nose on a staircase, and to create the bull nose I had to do a veneer to get it to bend, and one of my clamps had touched the oak on the bull nose curve on the base first step of the staircase. Couldn't get it, and that was it. The bull nose was knackered and I had to go and make another one. That's how you learn things. You learn by the hard way. So that's the door now. Crack on. Off cut. Right, this is what I used to do these holes, and it's perfect. Back in the olden days, could I find one of these that was nice and sharp and even cutting into oak? So I gave up on it for a while, and I used to do the jig with the hole in the template with the router. I think I've still got it here somewhere. Here we go. So I would often make up one of these with that, and then I'd put it on, I'd set it up, and then I'd get my router and router it out. And of course I would have to do it in 2 hits because often it would get clogged up, so I would get the extraction off it, and then do it again, blah blah, and then move it, clamp it, do the same again. Now I've got a perfect cutter for that. So that's what I use. So I'll just screw these on. Now, this is the inset type. That means that the hinge doesn't go in the face like so. It actually goes in the inside. So this type of blum hinge is set for you to be able to do that on here, and I've already done the receiver plate. Boom. Soft close. I'll get this in. Get this one. That in.
You don't know.
Morning YouTube, it's me just arriving. I've just got my gas heater on. It's going to blast for a few minutes to raise the temperature in here because it's Baltic. It's freezing. So I'll stick a kettle on and I'll make myself coffee. I'll just put you here just now. Where we left off yesterday was we're just putting on a coat of this stuff, and it's dry within 25 minutes. It's already dry because the activator or the hardener that goes into it kicks off a chemical reaction, and that's what cures it. That's the difference between this stuff and like your normal varnish, your polyurethane varnish. It's like painting. But I'm a joiner. I'm a joiner and carpenter. You want to know the difference between a joiner and carpenter? A joiner works with wood and a carpenter paints cars. Yep, looks good. Beautiful. Alright guys, if you've made it to the end of the video, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to get this thing delivered now. It's a very nice form follows function. That's what they used to say back in the 80s. And she'll put on her own handle. And there's two of them, of course. So, very nice. I love my job. Beautiful job. But look at the state of my workshop. It's like absolutely nuts. Get rid of this. Andy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.